What's up, everyone? Good morning. TradeSpace.io here with a live trading day. So this is actually going to be our first real live day that we're just streaming to YouTube. So should be interesting, should be fun. It took me like 30 minutes just to figure out the software and everything this morning. So I have a few extra things running on my computer as well. So lots of interesting things happening in the ES right now. So one of the things, we're back on the daily chart. If you watch any of my other videos, you know that we always read the markets top to bottom, high to low, left to right. So we're looking at this chart here. For the longest time, we've been in this big bull trend. And then eventually we found a resistance. We had a double top. Had another double top here. Push down, and we've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bear bars in a row now. What's significant about these bear bars is the fact that they're closing below this 20 EMA, which is a key level that I've been watching. We look back at this channel line here, we can see that there's been no significant closes under the 20 EMA. This is a 20 EMA close right here, but it had no real significance. Next day was a doji day, and it even ended as a slight bull body. Small close under here doesn't make a difference. There's no follow through. Big close here, slightly climactic, but now the bears are beginning to get closes below this moving average. So we know that the bears are in control. Now the interesting thing I think about this chart here is you have this big bull trend, which increases the likelihood of at least a second leg up in the coming months. Now, if you look at this big bull trend here, and then maybe you look at this bear price action in here, these 6 bear bars closing in pretty good closes. Even this one, though, it still may not be the best close, but it's a large bar. So whenever we have a lot of closes like that, it creates a tight channel. Generally speaking, the first reversal up will fail. Now it could just kind of have a small reversal up, 1 or 2 bars, maybe 3, maybe it'll be 2 bull bars, a signal bar, and then another leg down. That first push up generally fails, but the context is still bullish, and it's still enough strength for us to anticipate a second leg up in the coming months. Okay, we've gone from the daily. Let's look at the 1 hour next. We don't want to spend a lot of time here. Apparently it doesn't want to load a lot. That's okay. Let's go to the 5 minute and see kind of where we're at. Main 2 charts we're going to be trading today. 5 minute and the 2000 tick. I believe I have the 2000 tick set up on this computer. So just looking to see what might be the best way to draw this. Sometimes when you're drawing things, you have to draw it a couple of times for you to really find the most logical spot here. But I wanted to look at this area real quick. Yeah, it's a big bull bar closing at its high, followed by a large bear bar. So it's a climactic bar. When you have something that's climactic, it's usually breaking out of something, and that breakout is failing. Looks like, it's hard to see, but it looks like maybe there was some inside bars there it was breaking out of. But sometimes you can move the actual trend line around it. I mean to do that. You move the actual trend line around some. That doesn't make as much sense as this, though. I think this is where I'm going to leave it. So something else we need to look at here is this triangle. Right about there. We'll call it. Let's look a little bit closer. right around there. So we need to kind of be aware of that level as well. With that being said, it's probably going to show up a lot better on a higher time frame chart. But if this is a wedge, it's maybe 1, 2, 3. Here it was maybe 1, 2 with these levels here. 3 with a double top. Maybe it was 1, 2, 3, 4. Those are all potential options. We definitely have some strong resistance up here, and we can kind of draw a channel with this too. We really wanted to. We can kind of do either here. Although, if we look at this channel, and you think to yourself, maybe you're a bull, look at these levels. Bears who sold here, scaled in, sold here, keep selling to keep making more money. So, negative gaps. This isn't like, it's not like this is a strong bull trend. We are breaking this level, but I'm not going to be in a hurry to jump in. I might be more interested in getting in on a pullback here. Could you sell below this bar? I think you could. Just your risk is really large. It is a double top. We think of the double top as a measured move. We've already gotten there, so. Still waiting on this level here. So we really want to see how this finishes. In fact, let's do this real quick. There we are. So my old NinjaTrader was black. I made it, I made it black. And this one, when I re-downloaded it and finally refigured out the settings, it's white for some reason. So I'm thinking about maybe just getting used to the white. I'm thinking if I just get used to the white, maybe it'll, I don't know. Maybe I'll like it better. Who knows? I am watching some stocks as well today. I'm looking at some entries, looking at some short entries. The market's kind of in a weird spot. It's, if we look, I mean, I was just kind of just talking about that. If we're looking at like, really briefly, I don't want to spend a lot of time here. We look at this tight channel in here, and you expect the first reversal up to fail, but you also know that it's more likely that we're in a range. It just makes you wonder, if we get a second leg, how deep will that second leg really go before we have another push back up, before it gets into some kind of a range. And it's kind of scary. It's a volatile time to be in, because on one hand this looks like a strong sell, but on the other hand, you know that maybe we'll only get a double bottom or a slightly lower double bottom. We'll just have to see. A 2000 tick chart. I normally use the blue candles there, make sure I don't get the time frames mixed up. Little bull doji bar. But it looks like it may just be a pause here in a trend here. So interesting, we'll have to see what happens. Right now I'm kind of just letting it go a little bit, and I'm probably going to look to sell the first reversal down that I see that looks good. We have smaller and smaller highs. So think about it, if you're a bear, you're a limit order bear, and you see this high, and you want the best deal, you put a limit order to sell right here. Maybe you put a limit order to sell one tick above, and you just trade real small. And you say, I don't think this bull trend is going to go very far. And then you see this high, maybe you sell again here, maybe you sell again here. All of a sudden you make a lot of money down here. Maybe you take profits somewhere down here. Maybe you take profits after this bull bar or something. And then you're a bear, and you see this high here, and you say, this looks like a good place to sell, and you sell. And we have a shorter high, and you say, well, I'm going to do it again. You sell again. When we get back up to that level, you do it again. Now you can take profits down here. You can sell again up here. Lots of options for bears here. Some bears may want to sell below this bar, and they see it as a pullback. Just that little bull bar. It's a very slight pullback. It's more of an implied pullback. But if we look at a smaller time frame chart, like this 2000 tick here, no matter how you want to look at it, we have a pullback. We have a channel, we have a pullback out of the channel, we have legs, we have pullbacks from the legs, high ones, high twos. Actually, this was maybe a better looking setup on this 2000 tick, selling below here. Do we want to place a limit order to be short here? Setup looks a little bit nicer on this 2000 tick. I'm just not 100% sure. I'm not completely convinced, being right at the open, like how much we can really go down. That's what I wanted to do, is wait for the first pullback. That way I can see what the leg looked like. One thing I don't want to do is sell at the bottom of a range. And we look something too, if we look at this daily chart, keep going back to the daily, it really is important. Can't believe I don't even think I talked about this when we first opened, but look at this, it's a big gap up overnight. So now the bears have a target. I mean, bulls have a target too, being this gap in here. But bears do have a small target here, you know, just for the next day or so. But anytime there's a gap like that, it's probably more likely that there's going to be a range at the beginning of the day. The market has to figure out which direction it wants to go. So we're just going to sit and make sure that we're not in a range. It's something we don't want to trade in right now. Let's go back to the 5. Also, guys, if you're watching this, my last video got like 95 views or something. I want a video that has 100 views. So if you guys want to just go watch that for me, I would really appreciate it. That way it could have 100 views. That's all I really care about. If you want to stop watching at 100 views, and you can, I don't care. I just want 100. Just want one video with 100 views. Is that really so much to ask, though? One dude just wants 100 views? Okay, 2 bull bars in a row here. I think that we're going to see another push up. Let's see how big this is. I'm not as interested in selling this, but if I get a good signal, I will. I'm not very interested. We didn't push very far below this channel line right here, so it makes me think that there's more buyers right here than there's sellers, which it looks like there is. So even if we get something like a moving average rejection, these 3 bear bars in a row right here is not good enough for me to sell the first attempt up. I don't know what that's going to look like. I know there's bulls down here. This might be a tight range. This might be, you know, a larger leg up. Maybe this is a range as a whole. These are all options. So we got to let this range play out some. Bulls are clearly trying to make this a double bottom. What's the problem with buying this double bottom? You have a decent signal bar, but if we look back in the bull trend, we can see that it's very weak. It's broad, so it's at the later stages. Not only is it broad, but bears are making money. If limit order bears begin to make a lot of money, we talked about this earlier, then the chances are that you're in the later stages of a channel. So, later stages of a channel, it's reasonable to expect a trading range. Well, would you look at that? It's a good thing we didn't think that was a bear trend, huh? Sometimes people, they get really focused on the bars, and the bars are important, but something you have to understand is there's like a hierarchy of importance. What is most important? The most important thing is the overall trend of the highest time frame chart. If the overall trend is bullish on the highest time frame chart, that is the most important thing. That's why we look at the daily chart first when we sit down. We're trading, you know, we're taking relatively fast entries, and we're just holding for, I mean, sometimes a few minutes, sometimes maybe 20 or 30. Probably about the longest I've held in any of the streams or any of the videos, but if we're doing that, we want to know the overall potential direction of the market as well. Big bull bar here. We're also, if you think about the concept of market cycles, being at the open in and of itself is kind of a change in the market cycle. Now, what about buying above this bull bar? Apart from the risk, we're potentially in a range here. We're probably still in a range. In fact, maybe I want to go ahead and draw it out. Let's see. I have all new equipment here. Like all new equipment. So I'm having to look at my keyboard because my keys are different. I'm having to think. Yeah. I'm having to think about the... there we go. Think about the actual keys. So... okay, range. Range. There we are. That's not bad. So we got our range drawn out. And that's pretty much what I'm going with. With that being said, though, if we look back at things, we have a nice bull leg here. Just doing a little analysis. Big bear leg. We look at the pullbacks are growing more and more, right? 2-bar pullback, 4-bar pullback, 5-bar pullback. Lots of bar pullback, much deeper, relatively deep, pretty strong. This one was pretty fast, kind of climactic, but we can see that it's not really the best place to be going long. What if this bull bar is climactic? Bulls who bought here need to get out fast if this bull bar is climactic. If I were a bull, I would probably look to exit. I'd at least move to break even if nothing else. Like I said though, guys, generally speaking, if you have a gap like that, then you're probably going to have a range at the open. Anytime we see a gap, we got to look for a range. Lots of ranging action. We're really trying to do our best to stay out of this here. Let's look at the daily real quick. You should constantly go back and reference higher time frame charts too. It's a good thing to do. Especially if you're just sitting here and there's nothing to do anyway. You're just sitting here watching the market move. So we don't actually have a pullback yet, but something else that we can look for to see is if there's going to be a pullback or a gap within the pullback in itself. So let's just say that we pull back here, maybe we pull back for 2 or 3 bars. That would probably leave a gap between this low or this low and wherever its high is going to be. And that would be significant. Maybe that would mean that the range wouldn't last for very long. It is a little bit interesting to see because if you look at it and you kind of look to the left here, you could almost think that because this area is obviously a lot weaker, you could almost say that maybe this is the range. And if that is the range, then, you know, maybe it would be down here. See, so if that's the case, then we broke the range. You could also say that there's smaller ranges. There's definitely smaller ranges in here. Say maybe that and that is a range. Maybe it's this and that. And if so, then you can say, well, the range kind of already happened. Maybe there will be a broader range. But technically speaking, the range already happened. If that is the range, it's a little crooked, but it doesn't need to be straight. Then we far surpass the measured move of the range, if that's the case. So, definitely something really interesting to think about. Really, really interesting. I always like to say, if you're ever unsure, just wait for a good signal bar. Just sit there and wait. I'm still watching some stocks too. I need to go ahead and get another mount. I have like just essentially just barely enough equipment here at the moment to be doing this. But I need to get some new mounts because I need a third screen so that I can watch the stocks. We are definitely, so, you know, looking at a few of them. The biggest thing right now is I am looking to get into a couple, but the biggest thing for me right now is kind of what we're doing here. I want to make sure that this range is over at the beginning of the day before I actually jump into something. Want to allow it to go ahead and pick a direction for the day first. Because even maybe it's still a good idea to enter today, but if it's going to go lower, then I want to get the best price possible. Ranging market. Be a little bit more comfortable going short up here. Although I would kind of like this range to be over and the market to just pick a direction before I actually enter, now that we see that this is clearly a range. There's no doubt about it now. So, kind of just waiting. I tell you one thing for sure though. I'm not going to take, if I do take a trade in this range, I'm not going to take a trade where my stop loss is inside of the range. I need it to be outside. And really, I would prefer it to be here at a new high. Something else to look at here. We have a gap up. Gap between here and here. In fact, if we think about it here. Yeah, it's the right one. Let's do a little zooming in. Okay, I'm kind of just eyeballing it here. But that's alright, we just kind of need an idea. What does this lead to? If this is a measured move, maybe just a little bit higher. I'm also eyeballing it, so I could be off pretty good. But we think there's probably also a gap between here and here. And if that's the case, then it would lead to, well, I guess it would lead to a measured move from the low. It would lead to it down here. Or it could lead to it up here. Either way, there's not necessarily a strong case for the bulls here in the medium term. Maybe a setup on the 2000 tick too would look nice. Sometimes ranges on the 2000 tick look really good. And just like really small wrists too, like this right here. If you saw this as a double top, you said this bull bar is climactic. You say that this bear bar is a signal bar. You enter below here, you have a tiny stop. And the bottom of the range, you don't know the bottom of the range, but when you assume that we'll get below here, certainly once this breaks, you'll want to wait a few bars. And it may not be a complete reversal. It's probably best to take profits in here. But, you know, you could sell below this bar, and it is a second entry too, 1, 2. Sell below this bar, it's also 1, 2, but sell below this bar here, and get out 1 tick above here on this big long wick. Okay, we touched the range, we touched the top. Don't really mean a whole lot to me. If I'm going to take a trade here, I want to find a good signal bar. Mm-mm-mm. I don't have a whole lot of 2000 tick data, do I? I need to go in here and actually change the NinjaTrader settings on this computer. Guys, I'm telling you, I have an all-new setup. New computer, new monitors, new microphone. Actually, technically, it's still the old microphone. Let's see, what else is new? New keyboard, new mouse. Yeah, still a few things I gotta get. But I'm kind of at the bare minimum setup right now, so I figured I'd go ahead and start. Guys, if I'm quiet for a little bit, I'm just looking at stocks. I have a whole Discord to manage too. Just another reason why I need a third screen. I was really hoping to get away with just 2, but I guess I can't. I'm trying to time the top of some of these too. Trying to time the top. Oh, hello. I just look over and you're doing something at the top of the range now. Say hello. Are you going to give me a signal bar? No? You have one leg or one attempt down. It was a 50% pullback. It's probably about a measured move. If I get a signal bar, this could be a reasonable short. Maybe I will find one. Oh, there's still a fair bit of time left in this bar. It is a double top here. What's the risk? Do I just gotta eyeball it? Is that what you're trying to tell me? Gotta eyeball my risk? $29. I don't think price is going to come back to me. I don't really want to risk 5. I could risk 5. Throw this up. If we come back up again, I might be interested. Okay. If we get, especially if we get a new high and a signal bar on here, I might be interested. Actually, that might be it. Just gonna wait to see what happens. Just putting an order up for now. Double top at the top of the range. Looks like there are some sellers. Well, where's my stop loss going to be? Stop loss is going to be way up there. Probably not going to get the risk that I want. Probably not, but I might could limit it. Use this as a signal bar, help to predefine my risk a little bit. If I get filled, I get filled. If I don't, then I don't. Okay, I'm in. Still not really where I want my stop to be. It is above, well, not really. It's not above all of it. I have no idea what'll happen here. Go ahead and move to break even here. Free trade. Once we break this low, I really just want to let it go. Hopefully it'll keep going down. We'll see. I moved to break even a little bit quicker than normal in a range, and for a few reasons. Looks like we're out break even. But one is we do have this level of support here. It is something you have to at least keep in mind, at least consider. The second thing is just that this range especially can be kind of choppy. It's really choppy up here. choppy in here. So if the market's going to go my direction, I'm going to let it go my direction. But if it's going to make me sit here in a chop zone and it's going to lower my probabilities, I'm not going to let it do that. So that's why I'm moving to break even kind of quickly here. And it's still relatively reasonable too. Like, we broke a low. It's reasonable to go ahead and just move to break even then. Will I look to sell again? I think I'm going to wait a little bit longer because, I mean, just look at this, dude. This is chop zone. Chop, chop, chop. I'm really not interested in trading in this. Choppy, choppy day. I told you guys. I told you. If there's a gap up or down, it doesn't matter. There's a gap on the daily chart. It is probably going to start in a range. It's probably how we're going to start the day. Let's look at a 15, just for the hell of it. I feel like the 15-minute chart shows even better kind of what I was explaining earlier. Bear selling here, selling here, selling here, selling here, selling here. Really, really, really tight. We made this early low, and then we have this push up here. And it makes me feel like it's just going to act as a magnet for bears. And we're going to go at least back down here. Yeah, at least back down there. Sometimes if you're a person who trades a 5-minute chart, sometimes if you just switch to that 15, it'll help clarify some things for you. I don't know why the 15 is so clear, but it is. We're getting some bear movement here. We could have held through that, but that's okay. Like I said, I'm really not interested in holding anything in a choppy market. If the market's clearly going my direction, then yeah, I'm fine with holding something, but I'm not fine with holding something when it's really choppy like that. The market is either going to give me my profits quickly or it's not going to give me my profits at all. And at least here on this 2000 tick, this is becoming climactic again. So it's not like I really would have made more money, at least not as of yet. Maybe that'll change in a couple of bars. What's up, dude? I just saw your chat. I don't know how to send. Wait, no, maybe this is how I do it. Oh, I have to sign in. I'm not gonna sign in. Okay, go away. Still working on this software, guys. I don't know. I don't know. I have to sign in to send an emoji in the chat. What? I don't understand. Also, my chat window just went away. I don't know how that happened either. Don't know how it happened. I'll have to look on my phone. Yeah, I'm pretty glad too. It's I don't know. Certainly interesting, I guess. Certainly interesting. I had someone recently ask the same thing. Is someone I didn't even know actually, and they shot me a message and asked if I did the live trading, and I was like, well, not really yet, but I'm gonna start doing it more. Just waiting on this chop zone to go away. Go away. Sometimes too, it sucks because it's like, oh, we're breaking a level of support, and you look like a few points down and you see another one. And it's like, okay, well, now there's no use in taking any trades in here because we have this right here. I am thinking that maybe this trend line is now invalid, relatively speaking. Maybe I want to keep it up in case it gets retested. I don't know. I'm just waiting for a definitive move. And see, we had like a strong break. I guess we have, well, we got 32 seconds left in this bar. We had like what looked like a strong break, and then once again, it was not a strong break. I mean, even if this finishes as a bear bar, I don't think it's going to finish near its low. It's got 15 seconds to do it. I guess anything can happen in 15 seconds, but I don't feel like it's going to finish strong. Yeah, I mean, if anything, you say that maybe it's a double top. Maybe if it is a double top, there's probably buyers somewhere down in here. At least you have to assume that until you're proven otherwise. You could also think of it maybe as a double bottom, and we never got above the neckline. So maybe it's weak. Maybe bulls who bought this are going to get stopped out down here. Maybe that'll happen. Maybe the market will become a sell to close market. because there's clearly buyers in here. This big thin area is full of buyers. And if you bought here, probably disappointed here. Let's see. We'll see. This might be the time to be looking to sell the first pullback, though. This may also become sell the close. My biggest issue with like selling the close is just there's always so much risk to it. I used to do it so much. So much, especially like at the beginning of my trading, sell the close, because frankly at the beginning I felt like I could get away with just getting like 1 point and 2 points, and it was really easy to get 1 and 2 points selling the close. But your risk is so big, so you're going for 1 or 2 points, but you're selling at the low of a big bear bar, so your risk is like 8 or 10 points. I need to watch some of these stocks too. So some of these trades don't trigger until later this week. Some of these I'm really looking forward to as well. Just making sure I got all of them for today. There's one, I don't know, maybe I will make this public. I'm looking at X. Not Daddy Lon. Not the Musk Man. Let you figure it out. But I don't know, I'm waiting to see, because it's this tight bear channel. I'm waiting to see this push up. I would kind of like a bull bar or two before selling, actually. Have that little bit of a pullback. Look at this bear bar. It's a big boy. "55 seconds left. Oh, could you sell the close here? Probably. Probably could. Just a lot of risk. Alright, looks like we're going to have a pretty good close here. Let's see if the body can close below this level here. It can't really, but we did get below it, so it is still somewhat significant here. It would be a stronger close if the actual close of this bar was underneath this low. Probably get it on this bar. We also have a gap in here, so bears did sell the close. Sometimes though, when I look at bar gaps, sometimes I wonder if I mean, I guess that, a lot of things can happen, but makes me wonder if it's just like a gap in the market or a gap in my data. I mean, if you think about it, like, unless you have maybe not even a Bloomberg subscription, because it also depends on where you live. Further away you live from where you get your data from, the worse it's going to be. If you ever get the chance, you should compare your data to someone whose data where they live like far away. Data will be well, it won't be completely different, but it'll be different. Okay, so let's review a few things here. Let's get ready for some things. We have a pretty good break of the range. Have a nice bear bar here. About, it's pretty good. Not quite. I guess if it was perfect, it would close below this level. But we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bear bars in a row right now. 1, 2 of them, probably this one, 2.5 minutes left. Probably this one will be out of the range. We could also look at it from this point of view, double top, lower high. Oh, that's not the one I want. What is it? Control 2. You could also think of it, maybe if break of this channel here would be significant in the range, I guess was right in here. Should we mark that? Maybe we should mark that. Wrong button. I gotta get used to this keyboard. I don't have like the F keys. I just want to kind of mark the bottom of the range. Bottom of the range is there. Just kind of as an awareness factor, really. Although the markings are different on my 5 and on my 2000, because I have the bodies marked on the 5. This is going to be a wick on the on the 5 minute right here. On the 2000 tick, it's a climactic bear bar, and on the 5 minute, it's a wick. So, just some things to kind of keep in mind. Guys, if you're interested in our Discord, I'll post the link somewhere. If I don't post the link in here, it's on my page. You can find it on my page. But we trade stocks, futures, ETFs. We're going to do the live trading on here for a while. Eventually this will move to Discord only, but I'm not really in a hurry to do that. Okay, I mean, it's still just the first few seconds of this bar, but even if this is a bear bar, it'll have a pretty good wick on it. If I could sell again at this level, I would probably do it with a good signal bar. Probably be about where the moving average would be too. I think it'd be a reasonable sell there. So one of the things I was thinking about that I don't know, it might be kind of tough to do, but it might happen. here soon is we might go all the way down to the low of the day. We find buyers at the low of the day, even though this is a strong channel, a strong trend here to the low of the day. I'd still be a little bit hesitant selling any pullback. The reason why is because this is where bulls will likely look to buy, at least some. I mean, I don't know for sure how many are going to buy there, but at least some of them will. And I don't know what that'll look like. It might convert back into a range here before it breaks. Maybe it won't break. I do think that the probabilities of today being a bear day are relatively good. First entry here. Also kind of breaking this this channel line. Moving average. Small profit target. Very small. Hey, what's up, everyone? Good to hear from everyone. Hello, Alicia. It's good hearing from you. Thank you for watching my first live stream. It's really nice. Y'all have been so sweet. Everyone I've worked with has been so sweet. Y'all are really supportive. I appreciate it. I really do. I don't know why I just missed your comment, dude. That is funny. I have to watch the chat on my phone. So next time next time I'll try not to exit the actual chat window on my on my software here. Because I don't know how to get back unless I like close everything and then it kind of automatically pops back up. But I'll try not to close it next time. I'm having to watch everything on my phone. So, let's see, we have 7 seconds left. Kind of a weak bear bar here. So, if I get a signal bar here, I might consider it. Just gonna have to see how this goes. Some people may be willing to sell under here, and they may even be willing to sell here and scale in. It is an inside bar, so it can act as a signal bar for bulls. It's not a very good one. It is a negative gap between this low and this high. or this pullback here. And there's still an open gap between any of these lows and this high here. Guys, I have bad news. I've run out of tea. I have no more tea left. I don't know if I can win if I don't have tea. Okay, if this is an inside bar here, I'm going to look. Well, I guess there's still 3 minutes left. It's still a little bit here. But if this is an inside bar, I'm going to assume that it's a place to sell. Maybe you should consider selling below this bar on a 2000 tick. It's weak, break of channel. Oh, guys, should I do it? I've been trading off the 5 minutes so much lately, it's a little bit weird looking at a 2000 tick. I have to do 3 buttons to do this. I figured it out. I have to do 3 buttons. 3.5 points of risk. If I took it. If I took this as a signal bar. Right, because it's like 1. Well, it's kind of like break of channel, so it's like 1. And yeah, pull back, and then we need another low for a second entry trigger. Minute 45 left in this bar. It has become an outside bar officially. It's officially an outside bar. Even though it may still finish inside of this bear bar. It's interesting if you really look at it. It's like every bar kind of has an aspect of an inside bar and an outside bar. This is an outside bar, but it's kind of an inside bar. It's kind of an inside bar. It didn't break this high. It only broke here by a tick. Okay, now. Okay. I think I want to go ahead and get in this. It's good enough for me. Good enough spot for me. Entering a little bit early, I might be a little bit wrong too. We'll see. But I feel like the bulls are really kind of failing to produce any sort of a pullback. Maybe this will be minor and we'll go lower. My risk isn't huge. It's not so bad. Oh no. Oh no. It's fine, guys. Just sit here and wait for another one. It's a little bit of an early entry, but it looked relatively nice on a 2000 tick. Failed to break out here. It just ended at the last second. It ended as a bull bar. No worries. Just wait for a good signal bar, really. Now watch it be like an outside bar. I don't want to take an outside bar. It's already a lot of risk on it, if we're being honest. And I don't want to enter early again. Just want to wait. Just want to wait. I guess I should be specific. I don't want it to end as an outside down bar. This ended as a bear bar. It would probably be good enough for me to be short. Try it again. Starting to see some weakness here. I don't really want to sell again without a good signal bar. But this is good though. 20 EMA. Actually has a gap there. Tested this previous bottom of the range. So far we are being rejected from it. So if I could get a bull bar with a wick and a bear bar, probably be reason enough to be short. One minute left. I've been watching stocks pretty closely. Let me look at this real quick. Here's the deal about just about selling this is control function. The thing about selling below this, if this is our signal bar, if this is really small, it may end up being the signal bar. So you have 7.25 points of risk here. So that's quite a bit of risk. If I took this as a trade, I would have to take it with one contract. I mean, that's like, can't go any smaller than one contract. It's just too much risk. I'd really prefer to get a bear bar here, but I'm probably not going to get an inside bear bar. It's not a lot of room. You got a lot of time and not a lot of room here. So I'm just going to be patient. You guys can consider, looking to be short in here somewhere if you like. The issue, for me is really the risk. Now, if we do have a bear bar here that acts as a signal bar, then I will size my position accordingly, and I'll look to take a trade. But I don't want it to trigger right now. It's not that great of a signal bar for bears, and there's a lot of risk. So my thought for we got 224 left, 322. I'm sorry. My thought for like stocks, I guess this week was you kind of have to look at what prices generally do, because here's the thing: when you have the market, we have like the S&P as an example. You have everything in the S&P. Generally speaking, it goes up. Well, when you have a time of year, that rare time like what we're having this year, where we're having a pullback in the market, where the market's weaker than it has been in the past, 20, 30, 40, 50 years, um, you know, the the averages aren't quite the same. So what we have to do is we have to try to find short entries, more short entries, and there's not quite as many of them because the S&P and the stocks in the S&P and others, generally speaking, they go up, especially about this time of year. So you have to be really specific about like which ones that you look for. So my plan is to essentially be primarily focused to be short on most stocks. Some exceptions to this, at least for this week, is going to be oil and gas related stocks, because oil and gas prices are generally going up this time of year. They're not generally going down. So my plan is to essentially diversify a little bit more from this market into being long oil and gas and being short some of these stocks. We just have to be careful too, though, because the market's in a range and we don't quite know where the bottom is yet. Look at this, guys. Maybe I'm going to get my bear bar. Maybe I'll get my bear bar. If it's a weak bull bar, I might take it. I'll probably take it half size, though. Still a lot of risk. Still a lot of risk, but there's a little bit less now. 6 1/4. I mean, that's still really, still more than what I would really like there to be. If I enter on a limit, I mean, I guess I might get a little bit better position, but I don't think it's going to improve that much. I'm going to do one and I might scale in. Oh, I don't really want to do that. I wanted you to end. I wanted you to end first. It hasn't made a new low yet. Technically, the low one has not triggered. You could also enter with a limit. I mean, I guess if you wanted to improve your position a little bit more. I'm just doing one contract. If it goes my way, I'll take my profits, because I have a lot of risk here. I'll also consider scaling in, but we'll just see kind of how it goes. I might sell again on a low too. We'll see. Watching for this new low. Once we break even with this low, we'll move to break even ourselves, if we get there. I always say when, but you never know what will happen in the market. You really don't. I have no idea if I'll win or if I'll lose. It's not up to me, quite frankly. We're almost there now. Come on. Come on. I'm just going to put, well, I guess it's perfect with this line, so that's when I know. I guess, too, I didn't really think about it before. I want to watch this closely. I should probably look to my left. Well, that's the low of the day. So until we go past the low, we never filled the gap. I do want to keep looking to my left to make sure that we haven't like filled the gap, and I'm like trying to go short as we're filling the gap. That wouldn't make a lot of sense. Okay, good enough to move to break even. It's a free trade now. Free trade. This is a pretty good bear bar. Maybe you know what, dude? Screw it. Here's what we're gonna do. We're at break even here. We're at break even. We're just going to look to take profits with our stop loss. That's what we're going to do. Because this is an especially big bar here. So I'm going to kind of let this play out some. Guys, if you're, I'm just going to tell you straight up, profit target's down here. If you're in this trade with me, maybe you should just take profits right here. Because it's logical. It's just a logical place. I personally am okay, since I'm at break even now, I'm only in here one contract. This is a pretty strong bar. I personally am okay with just letting it ride. And you know what, guys? I'm either going to be out of this break even or I'm going to make a lot of money. I don't know which one it'll be, but I'm okay with either. We're a little bit down today, but it doesn't make a difference, guys. We're not trading for today. We're trading for our future. I know that overall I'll win enough trades to make money. It doesn't really make that much of a difference today versus tomorrow versus whatever day. It really doesn't make a difference. 12 seconds left in this bar. This is going to be a pretty good close, it looks like. Body is closing under this level. Yeah, guys, not too shabby, huh? Not too shabby. So, just writing this out, man. We're just going to ride this out. Maybe I should set my take profit to when this gap is filled? Maybe? I don't know. Maybe then? I don't know. I have no idea. I am going to... so I'm still at break even now. I'm going to probably trail the bar by the bar as we get down here. So I'm risking everything here. I'm either going to make a lot of money or I'm going to make absolutely nothing. I guess I'm not risking everything because I have no risk because I'm at break even. But, I mean, you know, I could just take profits now and pretty much be at break even for the day. But it's not about today. I think that's where a lot of people I think that's where they go wrong in their trading, is they're trading for today. And they don't realize that today really doesn't make a difference if you're trading every single day. You know, what's today compared to yesterday, compared to tomorrow, or the next day, or any other Monday? It doesn't make a difference. It's a big bear bar. I would like some more movement. Still a little less than 2.5 minutes left. I would like some more movement. If we touch the bottom here, yeah, if we touch the bottom here, I'm going to go ahead and trail by the bar if we touch the bottom. Come on, bears. Where are them bears at? Minute and a half left in the bar. I will trail this bar no matter what, once it finishes. "41 seconds left in the bar." Okay. I don't really want this. This is probably going to end as a weak bar no matter what, but I don't want this to end as a bull bar. Be like one leg down, two leg down. 21 seconds. Ten seconds. Probably will get stopped out here. But sometimes you're wrong. I mean, sometimes the market just keeps going down, and if that's the case, then just let it. You got to realize that it's almost impossible to perfectly time the top and the bottom, although it is possible. But just got to take what the market gives you. This would have been a really great trade. Would have put me back to being profitable, I'm pretty sure. But it had a lot of risk to it, and so that's why we just took it with one contract. Had over 7 points of risk. It's quite a bit. Quite a bit. This is what the 2000 tick looks like. Still probably going to get stopped out here, but it would be nice if the market kept going down. A little less than 3.5 minutes left. Wonder what this looks like on the daily. It's turning into a bear bar. Bears still have that gap to fill. I'm thinking it would be filled today. I'm thinking it would be. I don't know that for a fact. Just thinking, maybe. Come on, Bears. I expected more out of y'all. I was just hoping for more, I guess. It's always curious, so when you break a range, and especially a tight one like that, kind of gotta wonder, like, is it going to get bought back up again? Then if you look at the legs, it's like, oh, that's a pretty good leg down there. And you look at this leg down, and you're like, it's probably nearing the end of the bear movement. At least that's what bulls are probably thinking. Oh, can I get it closer? I can get it there. It's probably what bulls are thinking. Did break this level here. If we end as an inside bear bar, at least some bears will think of this as a signal bar. At least some. I don't know if it'll be enough, but some will. It's not a horrible end for bears. What we really need now is to go one tick below, and we can kind of find out if, you know, how other traders are seeing this. Guess that's how. Okay. So as soon as we touch the low here, I'm going to go ahead and trail by the bar. This looks like a big space there, but I guess there's not. I'm kind of getting bought back up here too. Might be more of like a bear flag. It's just a bear flag really close to support. I don't know when I'll do this again. I don't know, sometime. Sometime. This is like my first little go around. It's kind of cool. Still kind of getting everything like figured out. But it'll be a little bit sporadic when I do this, but I will do this some more. I'll definitely be doing it some more. We're almost there. We've almost reached the low of the day. Almost there. It's a really big bar to get filled on. You know, that's not even. That's been happening to me lately, though. I don't know why. I don't know if it's just luck or if it's maybe a slight improvement of my abilities, but I've been getting into like trades with big moves lately. Sometimes it's kind of addicting. You're like always expecting this big move. If you get it, like if you get a big move lots of times in a row, you're like, oh, it's gonna be a big move, big move, big move, and you know most of the time it's really not. So you got to be a little bit careful about your addiction to big moves. I certainly have had one before. Minute 12 left. I'm going to trail the bar as soon as we touch this low, or as soon as it ends, whichever one happens first. Oh, you're about a tick away. About a tick away. It's close enough for me. Okay, okay, okay. Let's see. We've secured 5 points. We've secured 5 points, guys. I'm actually really surprised I didn't get stopped out on this bar, or the bar before that, really. But, you know, that's kind of the power of trailing by the bar, is if the market does go lower here, like if there's a lack of bulls, if this thing is just continues to drop and drop and drop, I mean, if that's the case, then I mean that's the power of trailing by the bar. You don't give up a lot, but it does allow you to stay in the market in case the market continues to drop. Now there are probably bull buyers here, so chances of me getting stopped out here are also pretty good. But if I don't, guys, I'm going to make a lot of money. If I don't, I say a lot of money. I'm only in this one contract, but I'm going to make a lot of points at least. I'll make a lot of points. If you did take this full size, then I mean you're profitable for the day now. You're pretty happy. Maybe you'll be a little bit happier too. Who knows? Technically, the USO trade closes today, but I am kind of thinking about holding it. But I also have some other oil energy related trades. I'll have to go back and double check. But I know that I have a few of them listed too. So I was thinking about just letting USO close and then just entering another oil and gas play. Not really sure what I'm going to do yet. Yeah, I'm just checking stocks right now. We have some 425s. Here's a 425. And then, I mean, X is short today. I'm watching it real close. I mean, it's kind of a strong push up for X. Kind of want to, I may just say, I'll just let the day close out before I look to enter. Okay, well there's not too many buyers here, that's for sure. At least not right now. Bulls don't exactly seem desperate to buy the low of the day. We're just going to keep trailing. We're just going to keep trailing by the bar. It's all good. Been in this trade for quite a while. I actually didn't anticipate the stream going quite this long. Not that it really matters, but you know, it is what it is. By the way, for anyone who's watching this, if you're, watching this later or something and you've watched an hour and 44 minutes into this, first off, congratulations to you. I sure wouldn't watch anybody's video for an hour and 45 minutes, unless it was like a documentary or a movie or something. But it's quite a long time. Congrats to you. Kind of forgot what I was going to say. Yeah, I forgot what I was going to say. Oh well. I sure wouldn't watch anyone's video for this long. So if you're watching, thank you. You can feel free to copy my trades if you want, but I wanted to make a note, actually what I wanted to say really, I wanted to make a note that my risk, if you're trading with a prop account like most people, my risk is probably more than what your prop account allows, so just keep that in mind. Trailing by the bar. Trailing by the bar. Trailing by the bar. So, the actual gap would be filled. Remember I said we needed to watch this. Let's see. Oh, no, it's control function 6. Nope. No, that's not it. No, it's just function 6. Okay, there we go. Still getting used to this keyboard. So this is the high, or this is the bottom of the gap right here. It's a reasonable profit target. Should we just take profits at the bottom of the gap? Maybe we should. I think we're going to make that our profit target. It's a reasonable profit target. And this bar is not finished. I am thinking I'm not going to let this bar become bullish. And I think that's reasonable enough for me. There may or may not be buyers here. But it's a reasonable place to take profits. We got quite a few points in this. Yeah, if we take it here, 13 3/4 points, guys. How many people do you know that can make 13 3/4 points like this? It's not too many. Not going to let this become bullish. Okay, and we're out, guys. Awesome, 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 awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. So, I mean, I don't know, maybe if you have multiple contracts, you could still be in this, and you could take half here, take half here. But it's a little bit weird because we have like the beginning of this gap, and then we also have the low of the day. So there could be buyers anywhere in between here. I guess there were buyers there. Maybe I should have kept my trail up here. Maybe I'd still be in this. Maybe I could take profits here. But with this many bear bars in a row, you know, we were so close to the profit target. When we get real close to the profit target like that, I like to go ahead and just kind of squeeze price, just to make sure it gets hit. So that's just kind of my way around it. Awesome trade though. That was I don't know, it was probably like 10 points, wasn't it? I think it was like 10 points. Not too shabby. And actually we ended up, I believe we ended up profitable, even though we only traded one contract, you know, though. That's the power of this, really. If you're really smart, you get into your trades really well. It almost doesn't even matter what size you were trading. We had to trade small because of the risk. The risk was really large. But still, if the trade's valid, you have to take it. You have to take it. So, did really well with one contract. It would have been nice if there was 4 in there, though. I do admit that. Okay, everyone. I'm probably going to call it for the day. Thank y'all so much for watching. It's been a lot of fun. If you're interested in the Discord, there's a link posted in my channel bio. If you're interested in private one-on-one lessons with me, if you want to see how you can trade the market like this, then I also have my Fiverr link in my channel description. So thank you all so much. Hope everyone has a great day, and I will see y'all, I don't know, I guess whenever I choose to do this again. So I'll see y'all then. Best